If it was a circus show, you're all that I've ever loved. Grip so
Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Griffin School Spring Fundraising event. We are really grateful that you are tuning in tonight to support Griffin School. Our goal tonight is to raise $150,000, and that is to support the mission of Griffin School as we head into this really uncertain time. Our work to provide an authentic school community full of academic rigor and creativity is more important than ever. And the impact that COVID-19 is having on health outcomes and the economy makes our diversity and equity initiative even more relevant. We've got some wonderful elements in our broadcast tonight. It's going to be brief, so 30 minutes or so, but packed full of really good content. So we have some videos we're releasing tonight. One is a video of some parents who have shared their experience at Griffin School this spring and our response to the pandemic. And the other is a video we made back earlier in the spring when we were together on campus of some of our students and staff and parents talking about diversity and equity and community here at Griffin. At the end of the night, we have a special door prize, so stay tuned for that. Let me show you what that is. We have this, for one lucky attender, signed portraits of Pat Sajak and Vanna White of the Wheel of Fortune, as well as, of course, tickets to attend a filming of the Wheel of Fortune. So hang around. We're going to give these away later. In the meantime, I'm going to ask that we get started with a contribution from you onto our chat. And we're going to be talking about what makes Griffin School special to you throughout the night. For now, why don't you think about what event, what tradition, what memory do you have of Griffin School that is really inspiring to you? Add that to the chat. It'll be interesting to see what comes of that. It could be a sports event. It could be an interaction that you had with a teacher or a colleague, another student. It could be something from prom. So whatever it is, put that in the chat right now, and it'll be fun to see what comes from there. As you're doing that, we're going to enjoy a special musical performance by the Griffin Family Band, some of our really wonderful, talented faculty and staff members. This spring for open mic night, they put together this really lovely rendition of Bill Withers' I Wish You Well. So turn up the volume and soak up some love from these really remarkable educators.
I wish you flowers, sunshine and smile. I wish you children that grow to make you proud. I wish you pretty things to wear, sweet things to smell. I wish you well. 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 I wish you well.
I wish you good friends that always
Amazing, right? That performance resonates so much because it's a message of love and support to our students during this time when we're apart. And I think it captures the spirit of our whole effort this spring to do what was required of us to avoid a health crisis in our community, but also to stay connected and to stay engaged in the work that we do together every day. It's been a tough time for everyone, but you know what? I am so proud of the work that our staff has done and the way that our students and parents have adjusted and embraced this effort. Every opportunity for connection has been successful, and that's because everybody has leaned into those opportunities and made the most of them. I think, it's remarkable that even with the situation that we're in, we've been able to sustain a really excellent high school experience for our students, and it just really speaks to the persistence, optimism, and resilience in this community. So here's what we did this spring. So first of all, we led with flexibility, compassion, and support. We knew that there were going to be challenges that we could anticipate, and we knew there would be challenges that people were experiencing at home that we might have a hard time seeing and would be hard to anticipate. So we just started with just letting people know we were going to be responsive to their needs, whatever they were, as they came up along the way. The second thing we did is very quickly, we rolled out a revised weekly schedule that allowed us to maintain school. School stayed in session. Classes meet every day from 8:45 in the morning to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We're having our core academic classes, the art elective classes, art workshops, skills classes, town hall. We have parent coffees every week. So all of those things are done through synchronous online classes, obviously through Zoom. But all of that allowed our students to maintain the rhythm of their school life. It was the structure that I think everyone needs to rely on to know that, things may have changed a little, but all the work continues. And I think that structure and that consistency has been really important for our students and families. Third thing that we did is we worked really hard to sustain a sense of community through all of the virtual events we've pulled off this spring. So it's not the same as being together. We know this. But you could feel the love in each of the events that we had this spring, in the open mic night, which was really beautiful, in our athletics banquet, and maybe most of all in our virtual prom this spring. Every one of those events were moments of community connection, and there was this spirit of generosity and authenticity in these communal events, even though we were interfacing with each other in a slightly different way. So up next, we're going to share a few messages from our parents about how they have experienced our adaptations to this springtime.
Hi there, I'm Wendy Salome. I'm a parent and a board member at the Griffin School, and our family has been with the Griffin School for the last 3 years. We just all wanted to send a collective love letter to the administration and faculty and staff at the Griffin School to thank them for their hard work and let them know how deeply we appreciate everything that they have done to make the end of this year as special as it possibly could be. But beyond being special and finding little moments of excitement for the kids, what they have done is created a stimulating and inspiring learning environment across all subject areas. It's been really impressive and really meaningful in a time of so much uncertainty and fear and unknowns. We have this safety net and we have this consistent, regular schedule with some of our favorite people in the world who we get to connect with every day, every week, and it's made all of the difference in our experience of the COVID-19 quarantine. And I just can't thank you enough. I can only imagine how much work must have gone into it, and I hope you know that every bit of it is deeply appreciated. You guys are the best, and we love you, and we're so grateful for you.
Griffin School. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love the way you went straight from the junior class trip into spring break, which must have included 4,768 phone calls, quite a bit of caffeine, extra dessert, and zero sleep, in order to bring us to the next week that seemed like it had been prepared for all along. I love the way you have kept educating and caring for these kids without even being in the same space with them for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. There have been phone calls and emails, Zoom lunches, a virtual prom, an open mic night, when other schools, and I know we have 5 schools represented in the greater Austin area, have lacked communication, have been slow to plan, but Griffin just kept moving forward with care and communication and excellence. I love the way your staff and teachers have encouraged healthy coping skills while also acknowledging how weird this entire setup is. You guys are dealing with so much in your own spaces, and you've given the kids a little glimpse of that, and it's allowed grace to flow both ways. I love that you've continued to celebrate what the kids are up to outside of school, whether it's a band on their front porch, or art out in the woods, or building a climbing wall on the side of their house. That was amazing. I love that even though the kids are experiencing something that none of us ever have, they are doing it beautifully, in part because of the school and the staff who care so deeply for them and the community that has been built at Griffin. We love you, Griffin, and are grateful every single day to be a part of it. And we'll love you even better after Corona.
Hi, my name is Jason Scully Clemens. I am the father of a senior this year at Griffin, Craig Scully Clemens. When we moved to Austin, we came just before Craig started at Griffin. So Griffin School and the Griffin community has really been central to Austin becoming our home. In fact, we would not feel at home in this city. We would not feel connected to this city the way we do if it weren't for the Griffin community in the way that it welcomed us and embraced us, and has made us part of the Griffin family. And so for that, we're forever grateful. The Griffin School has been a place where Craig has been known, challenged, and loved, which is everything that a parent could want for a child's high school experience. And so as his dad, I'm just super grateful for the way that Griffin has embraced him. And then also just as a member of the Griffin community myself, I know that the bonds that we as a family have formed at Griffin are going to live long past his graduation date. And so for that, I'm also obviously incredibly grateful. If you look at the way that Griffin has handled the COVID-19 situation, it's really emblematic of what you can expect from Griffin School, even though it's still surprising as to how wonderful this difficult time has been. From things as seemingly simple, which were not simple, but seemingly simple, as maintaining classes almost seamlessly, really, which they've really successfully done, to virtual parent coffees, maintaining the parent coffee, the Friday parent coffee. Even though we're doing it via Zoom, it's still a good way to connect with families, to something really genuinely incredible, and as far as I can tell, maybe unique in the country, the virtual prom, which was such an amazing, amazing thing. I know it was difficult for the seniors to have to really throw out all their expectations for what their senior year was, how it was going to end, and what it was going to look like, right? I mean, this just is a different time, and there's nothing that could have prepared anybody for just the level of how things just had to change. And that being said, that prom, Craig's never going to forget dancing in his backyard with sparklers while his teachers, people who he knows have his back and care deeply about him, serenaded him, sang "Eye of the Tiger" to him and his classmates. In so many ways, that prom, and this is true of so many things at Griffin, that prom was probably more meaningful, more touching, more unifying, just an overall more unique experience than a regular prom, the prom they were expecting could have been. I guess that's where I am about all this. Griffin is home for us, and really anybody who can call Griffin home is lucky.
In this season, when we can't be together on campus, we're especially feeling the value of all that Griffin means to us. Authentic community, academic engagement, creativity, and a culture that supports us to be compassionate, resilient, and curious. We're noticing those elements more than ever right now because we're not taking anything for granted. It's like when you lose something, you recognize just how much you appreciate it. But those are the values that we live by at Griffin all the time. Compassion, resilience, curiosity, community, creativity. That's what we work to instill in our students all the time as they move through their high school years and as they move on into the rest of their lives. So over the past few years at Griffin, we have taken that foundation of community and compassion and built on it. And we have embraced the effort to develop the culture of diversity and equity as our top strategic priority. It goes right along with the values that we have here at Griffin, but it feels more important than ever in this moment in time to work on making the world a more equitable place. So from our student council-led student discussions to our faculty and staff strategic planning meetings, to our board of directors, all of our different groups have embraced diversity and equity as the goal. So we are becoming more and more aware of how diversity plays out in our lives, in our school, and in our institutions in the community. We are practicing anti-racism and working towards making a more equitable Griffin School and a more equitable world. To that end, we have committed to increasing diversity at Griffin and to providing scaffolding to support the people in our community who are most vulnerable and historically underrepresented. In this time of COVID-19, the inequity of the world is more apparent than ever. And we are more committed than ever to support the families in our community who are being most impacted by this crisis and who deserve an equal access to an excellent education. So up next, we're really excited to share a video we made earlier in the spring, back when we were on campus together, that features our students, some parents, and teachers talking about the culture of diversity and the sense of community we have here at Griffin.
Best thing about my freshman year has been getting to know myself more and growing and meeting new people and growing with people that are also growing.
First day I got here, I saw so many different types of people just like walking in the hallway, and it threw me for a loop because I was not like used to that.
It's coming from Austin High, which is huge, and the teachers didn't know my name most of the times. Like, they didn't know the kids in their class. They had to look on the roster and then see which seat they were in, and it's so different here because Caroline knows my name, Adam knows my name, the teachers know my name.
It is a super unique environment. When I tell people that I teach at high school and I teach math at high school, first for math, they're like, and then they're like, high school, And I quickly explained that Griffin is a different place. It is not the typical high school that they think of when they think back to their own high school experience. When I interviewed at Griffin, I came in the door to the Commons and I thought, I want to go to high school here. Like, it's that kind of school.
The Griffin environment has definitely helped me figure out more of who I am. I was pretty reserved when I came here, pretty shy, but yeah, this school pretty much knocked the shy right out of me.
I think that Griffin has created a space that if you want something to change or you see something that needs to be changed, you can change it.
So being at Griffin has been a wonderful experience for me, and I want it to be a wonderful experience for other people too. And I think that one of the major challenges that we've faced here at the school that we've been working really hard on is diversifying our student body. We want the opportunities available at Griffin to be accessible to as many people as possible, and people from all walks of life.
There is a definite intentionality to creating a diverse environment here. We're working with students, helping students grow that see a world that doesn't necessarily look all one color or one ethnicity or one group.
Everybody can benefit from learning from others who have different opinions, come from different backgrounds, have had different lives.
It is absolutely safe to say that I found myself here at Griffin. I think that when I came here, I was confused about who I was and I was confused about where I wanted to go. But I think that being at Griffin and being around peers that supported me no matter who I became throughout my high school career was one of the most positive experiences in my life, and I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Diversity is really important here because it will just add, and more diversity will just make Griffin even more Griffin.
Thanks to film teacher Phil Patternite and to sophomores Drew Smith and Bella Shepard for their fantastic work on that video. That was really awesome. I really believe that our work and our mission right now is more important than ever. And I think the goal of opening our doors to worthy students who are deserving of an excellent education, but who don't have the financial capacity to access it, is really critical. I also think that we're all benefiting from the increased diversity in our community. We have more diverse perspectives in our classrooms, and we have more diverse voices in our whole community. We're trying to raise $150,000 tonight with your help to support the work that we have ahead. And we know that there are challenges ahead of us this spring. So that's the amount of money that we think is needed to provide the backing to handle those challenges with confidence. The most obvious thing is that we have families in our community whose the parent has been laid off or furloughed, or the family has experienced some really significant adverse financial impact from COVID-19. We're seeing a lot more applications for financial aid than normal. We expect to provide $300,000 in financial assistance this year to families who are in a whole variety of different situations. And that's significantly more than what we had budgeted for this year. We're committed to sustaining our diversity and equity initiative. The work in that area is training for our staff, students, and parents. We've partnered with SEED, this really fantastic organization, to bring in the expertise to do that training and that further education. We expect to spend $12,000 in the coming year on that work. And of course, as we look ahead to the time when we can be together on campus again, we have a lot of work to be done on our classrooms and our facilities. We want to be able to do that safely and responsibly, and so that's going to take an investment in a variety of things to make that happen. The plan is still evolving, and I wish I could tell you the details, but the truth is we're working hard to build a financial plan for our facilities that makes sense given this new normal. We know that's going to include a redesign of our furniture so we can provide more physical distance between each other, new cleaning protocols, hand sanitation stations all over the place, and also, building into the classrooms new infrastructure for video conferencing so we can support students who may have to be at home for extended periods of time. So all of that we're estimating is going to take an investment of about $10,000 to $20,000 in classrooms and facilities this summer and in the fall. So that's why we're asking for your support. I know that for some families who are feeling a real negative impact financially right now, this is not the time that you can make a contribution. If you remain in a solid financial position, we need your support to do this work. We need your support to sustain our mission, to support our families who are most vulnerable right now, and to expand our diversity and equity efforts to build a more just and compassionate community. So please make a donation. Make a donation that is personally meaningful to you. So the level of that donation is going to be different for different people. And for some people, a meaningful donation is $50. That's going to be a really significant contribution from you. For other people, a $10,000 donation is within your means and would be a really meaningful contribution from you. So at whatever level you're able to give, we are grateful for your support. We really appreciate your being here tonight and for considering the value that you receive from Griffin School and considering a contribution to support our work. We're investing in an authentic, creative, excellent high school community so we can support our students as they go on and make the world a better place. Okay, so here's how you give. Go to griffinschool.org/donate2020 and you'll see the donation form online. Again, that's griffinschool.org/donate2020. And thank you so much for your support. We can't do this work without you. I'm now going to pass it on to Angie Eaton, our development director, who has done so much work to make tonight possible. Thank you so much, Angie, for your tireless efforts.
Thanks, Adam. We want to thank each and every person who is a part of the Griffin School community. Whether you are a student, a parent, relatives, all of our alumni, students, and parents, and of course our incredible staff. Each one of you plays such an important part in making Griffin School the special place that it is, and we're so grateful for you. I want to give a special thanks to some of the people who have generously supported this fundraiser tonight. Michael, Mabel, and Nathan Willie, thank you. The Boatwrights, the Quinns, the Hancocks, Rick Linklater and Tina Harrison, Marguerite Chandler and Richmond Shreve, the Salomes, the Rollins, Doug and Monica Shea, the Scully McClemens, Davis Kaufman LLC, and Prosperity Bank. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Wishing you all the best from my house to yours. Good night.
Wake me up from my slumber sweet. Was so nice to get off my feet. Couldn't handle saying goodbye to your smile. I knew it'd be a while. It felt like the clouds were laughing at me. I'll leave them thinking what